Alright guys, thanks for tuning back in. In the last tutorial you saw how to make the wisps. In this tutorial you're going to learn to make it onto the wig. So look, we have a little gnome wig or a doll wig, whatever you want to call it. So let's get on to making the wig. Okay, so you want to start off with a styrofoam ball that is covered with plastic wrap and rubber band on. So you'll need a pair of scissors, some Mod Podge, and a piece of fabric. You'll roll your fabric over the top of the ball and then you'll secure it with the rubber band. About halfway down the ball, because if you go any further it'll just slide right off. So halfway down the ball, put the rubber band on. And then once you get the rubber band on, you're going to take your Mod Podge and you're going to smear it all over the top of the ball. Now you got to cover the whole top from the rubber band to the top. Nice even layer. Try not to get any kind of like large lumps or areas that are not covered with the Mod Podge. Make sure you cover every part of it. Now it doesn't matter if there's a little crease in the fabric. That makes no difference at all. Just make sure your Mod Podge is covering the whole thing. Now you're going to want to dry this in between each layer, and you are going to want to make 4 layers. So you'll put the Mod Podge on, and then you'll let it dry. Then you'll put another layer of Mod Podge on, and then you'll let it dry. And you'll do that 4 times. Alright, so now once it is dry, you'll take it off the rubber band, and you'll trim it off right at the bottom where you ended the Mod Podge. Just trim it all the way around. And then you'll have a half of a circle that is nice and stiff. Now that is going to be your wig cap. It doesn't need to be really super hard because remember you're going to glue this down on top of the styrofoam ball when you're all done, so it just needs to be kind of firm. Alright, so then you're going to take that wig cap, you're going to put it back on top of that foil, and then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a center line right down the middle of the whole entire wig cap, from front to back. This is your very center line. This is where your part will be, in the very middle of your wig. Now if you want your part to be on the side, then you'll draw the line on the side. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue gun out, and you're going to take your little wisps and you're going to make sure that they are cut and trimmed. You're going to trim the very top. You don't want to leave all that rough. You want to get it as close to the wisp hairs as possible, but don't cut off all the glue. And then what you're going to do is you're going to when you cut that really straight, what you're going to do is you're going to glue it right where you drew that line. So you'll glue it on one side of the line. So you'll see me glue it on, and I am laying that glue strip on the opposite side. See the little strip, the wisps are facing me, and the line is in front of the wisp. So basically what you're going to do is you're putting them on the line. So when you fold it over, you don't see the line anymore. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put little So this is I'm making this the front of the wig. So you know how you always have like little loose pieces of wisps in the front? I put a couple of little tiny pieces in the very front for like bangs or something like, something like that. So that is my front. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it in so that the wisps are facing away from me. So now I'm going to put another strip of glue, and I'm going to glue that right on that center line I drew. And then next, I'm going to glue all the way around the bottom edge of the wig. Sorry guys, I have a really bad cold. My voice is trying to go. So, all the way around the edge of the bottom of the wig. You're going to glue all the way around. And just follow the line. You overlap it just a little tiny bit. Overlap it just a little bit. So that you don't have like a wig line. Like a line where the wisps start and end. So just overlap it just a little bit. Just like that. Push the glue down. Don't burn yourself. And then you will cut your wisps so that they fit and just barely overlap. So what I'm doing is making a measurement, seeing if I need to cut it, and I do. So I'll trim it, then I'll measure it again. It looks good, so then I'm going to put some glue on it. And then I'm going to glue it up. You see that? I'm gluing it up. Because remember, this is the front. So next little piece. Glue it up. This helps cover the end where the glue, where you glued it to the wig, because you'll pull that down. So you're basically folding the wisp onto itself. So now the next piece I'm going to do is right back toward on the bottom again. I'm going to go back to the back, all the way around. Get enough glue on there, and then set it down. Now this does not have to be perfect, because once you fold it over, trust me, you do not see this. You will not see any of these lines. It kind of looks messy in the beginning. Don't fret, don't worry. It'll look just fine. So now you're going to put your next piece, and you want to lay that down, because this is the back, so that it covers that glue line, so you won't see it. And then I'm going to do my next one, and I'm going to do this next one, and I'm going to do it up on the top. Oh, sorry, I did another row on the bottom. Try to do a voiceover on something after you made it. I do apologize. My throat is very sore and it's hard to talk, and I'm trying to do a voiceover. So if you hear me cough, sorry. Alright, so you're gonna put another strip on. This is super easy. It goes super fast. So then you take your next piece. She kind of looks funny right now, but she'll get there. Put a little glue on there. And glue it to the front. And you can do all kinds of things with her hair once it's done like this. You can have, you can do real ponytails, or you can just leave it loose. You can also curl it. Take a metal straw and you wrap the wisp on there and heat the straw with a flat iron, and it'll curl the hair just perfect. So you put another piece on. And then I'm going to put a piece on the back. Now see, if you want it to be kind of on the softer side, don't use hot glue. Use like a soft drying glue like Gem Tack. And then it'll dry soft and not so stiff. But if you don't mind it being stiff, you can just use hot glue. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take the hair that you made and pull it over to one side. Then you're going to take a hair tie and you're going to tie it into a ponytail. And the reason why you're going to do this is you want to keep all of this hair out of the way while you do the other side of the wig cap. Alright, so now we're going to start on the other side. And we're going to take a nice long piece of wisp. Make sure we trim it off. Get all the excess glue off of there. And then when we glue it, you want to glue it with the glue part of the wisp facing you. So when you fold it over, like the other side of the hair, when you fold it over, you don't see the glue. So you see how I'm holding it? Hold it between your fingers. And then push it into the ball and up against the other wisp. So you're pushing it, and see what you're trying to do is trying to make a part. So you want to push it in nice and tight. Nice and tight. Now, if you don't get it all the way tight, what you can do is you wait for it to dry and then pull the two halves like you're pulling the ponytail really super tight, and stick a little bit of glue, whatever kind of glue you want to use. I had two little spots after I did this that weren't glued down, and what I used was the Alien's khaki glue on a small little brush, and just put a little bit of glue on there and then stuck it down inside between the part, and then push the part together. And so now you can't see it, and it's not super stiff. So see how I have all of the glue wisps facing you, and so when I fold it over, you won't see the glue. So now I'm using my scissors, trying to squish it down as close to possible to the other wisp. And then I'm gonna check to make sure I have any areas that aren't glued, and it looks like I got it pretty good. And then you can do the same thing on this side that you did on the other. Glue all the way around the edge of the wig, bottom of the wig, right there. All the way around the edge. So I'm using my glue stick as like my finger protector, whatever you want to use. Anything works. Just make sure you overlap each wisp to the previous wisp that you glued on so that there's no gaps in between. That's the biggest thing, is just to overlap it. You don't have to do a whole lot, just enough that there's no empty spots that you can't, there's no hair. So see, like right in the front, you see that there's a gap. There's a little wisp, and then there's a gap, and then the wisps. I'll fix that. You'll see that in just 1 second. That's exactly what you don't want to have. See, we just cover it up, and now the little gap is now gone. Now, I'm going to glue another piece, another big piece, all the way around. And this takes quite a bit of hair, so make more than what you think you'll use, because you'll probably use every bit. I think I ended up with a small little wisp left that I did not use, and I made a lot. Put a little bit more, put another wisp on there, and now we're going to be doing the front. So whatever hairstyle that you decide that you want to do, the trick to this is make sure that the glued pieces of wisps are hidden. So if you want to do a side part, you'll make sure that all of your wisps face one way and then the other way. If you want to do a couple of like the part ponytail, part hair down, I don't remember what they call it, the Japanese little girls have that. They have a little ponytail and then loose hair. That one, you would make you would roll up a piece of wisp real tight to be the ponytail and glue it where you want it. Then wrap the loose hair, that stuff that's not going to be in a ponytail, around it upside down so that you can't see the wisp, the little glue pieces. Okay, so you got both sides done now, and what you're going to do is you're going to take a hairband and you want to put it on top of the wig, and you want the hair to learn a new position or settle down into that new position. So you'll put the hairband down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take some cold water, put it on your hand, and then you're going to put it on the hair so that the hair has a chance to soak and get the hair to settle. So that's the trick. Let it soak for a day. Well, hey guys, wasn't that so much fun? And making a wig out of wisps wasn't all that hard, was it? We did it together. But if you don't want to do that, I have another option for you that has no glue. But you got to know how to crochet, and you got to know how to latch hook. If you're interested in that and you've made it this far, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified the next time I upload a video. And the next one I'm going to upload is how to do one of these with no glue. So guys, I feel very blessed. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, bye.